Hello everybody and welcome back to Anno 2017. Looking at cyberpunk, well, that city is looking quite beautiful so far. I like it. The only thing that's missing is, well, some higher tier buildings and especially above all more buildings. So that's exactly how we start this episode here. We are just going to have lots and lots of more buildings here. We already have a few blocks available here that we have lots of building resources, and I just want to continue building a big cyberpunk city. That's just all that I really want. Let's also move the community center there just a tiny bit inside, and then we have to check again if we get the red color at any given time. It's just blue. There is the red one. Very good. And then we just need to street.
Inefficient trading rate. No goods available.
Just like this. Very good. Now that's of course not the only thing that we are doing in this episode here. Much more important than those few buildings there is our next production chain that we can finish now. So in Neutron, as we can see, we already have our truffle production here, and somewhere else here we definitely have another production going on. The lobsters, right? So that's why I can't see them, because they're here at the ocean. And when I look at my goods here real quick, truffle and lobsters is now complete. So the only thing that's missing now is the production building for that, and that's this one here, the gourmet factory. And that's the last good my tycoons need before we can upgrade them. And then we actually have tier 4 tycoons, and that means the tycoon monument is also becoming in soon. Now I also want to have a depot here, just to have 2 depots there to get those wares quickly. And then we can build them. We do have enough energy, enough building resources. So the only thing that we have to do now is probably one of the most beautiful things, and that is placing factories. And then we have a few more factories now at our disposal. They're already getting the goods there. And with that, we also have finished the next production chain. The only thing that we need to do now is, well, having Passat 2 here as our trade route. And Passat 2 is going to be for gourmet food. Let's just say it like that. And it's going from Neutron to cyberpunk, and it's going to have luxury meals. It's actually not gourmet food, but luxury meals, but that's still fine. And let's just get everything going there. And Passat 2 was the ship for that. We just need to find it now here in this huge list of ships now. And there it is. And now the ship is finally taking the food that we need here to cyberpunk. While that is happening, let's also have a look at my other goods. Fish and alcohol is full. Yep, convenience food is going down a bit. Plastic is looking fine. And oh yeah, champagne is also looking fine and actually climbing. So that means we still have room for more upgrades if we want to. And since we do have enough building modules, I really just want to use that opportunity then. Do have a depot here for some strange reasons. Having another one here, and then probably a block like that, and a block like that. Some more red buildings, just in case that's your favorite color. Well, then you will love this district here, this whole area here. So there's still some room here for, I think, some mixed buildings that we're going to have there. Everything else is looking fine. We could upgrade lots of buildings, so we can actually upgrade those guys here, so that we have a few more high tier buildings here in the town center. And I've also sent some ships over here to Eden, and in Eden I want to get some more building modules, because we just have so many of them in Eden, and just get them over there to cyberpunk, where we actually do need them. Over here too. Street connection. Perfect. Now let's have a look at Megatron. As we can see now, that monument here is going to be finished soon. The people here are a bit unhappy, and yes, it's because the neuro implants are missing a bit. So that's also something we need to focus on. Neuro implants, let's have a look at them. That's here in Carbon City, and there I have the cybernetic factory. And what I can see is that sponges are missing. So we're not producing enough sponges for my productions, because my productions here are waiting for sponges. That is the choke point that we have there. So I've already sent one of my submarines here to our deep sea base that we have here, Indigo, where we produce these sponges. And those few farms here are not enough sponges. So let's have a look at that. It's under the tax. And under the tax we do have the neural implants, and there we have the sponge factory, or well, sponge farms. And we can then just place, in this case, 2 here side by side. The thing is, we do need a bit more space for more sponge farms if we want to. And those 4 should not be a big deal. Right, we can just squeeze them in wherever we want to. There certainly isn't any more time for that, or any more space for that. We do have enough of those algae though, so I can still squeeze in a few more here and there. I really don't want to have another underwater base just for sponges, because after all, that also costs me a lot, and also is quite a lot of work there to have so many farms there all the time. Right, that's 2 more, and seems like we really don't have that much space anymore, but just look at that, it's beautiful, right? It's so many farms. The algae is fine, so we are capped on algae almost. The only thing that we probably would need is another depot here, but just look at how much space it needs. Incredible. There we have it, and then I will need few more of those sponge farms. I think we can squeeze in 1 here, yeah, and we can definitely squeeze in 2 here. Hopefully that's working. Oh boy, I don't think that this is working. Nope, we cannot squeeze anything in here, so really just 1 that we can squeeze in there. So that's 3 more sponge farms. I think we could squeeze in 1 more here.
Warning. Production halted.
That might be possible, because we could, yeah, do it here. Very good, then it's possible. Having a sponge farm here. And other than that, that should do for now. You know, so that's quite a few sponge farms that we have there. Hopefully to produce a few more of those. And gourmet or luxury food is also now in store. So the last demand they have is filled up now. And that opens up the participation of the financial center. So that is the last service building for the tycoons that we need for now.
Between neighbors registered.
And financial center, there it is. And it's this building here, and boy does it look cool. Gotta say that. And yeah, I think in this case we do have the resources. Let's build 2 of them. Just a few more building modules, that's all I need. So we should have 2 of them. I think, yeah, I can have 1 here. It's still not looking good though. Having 1 here, or having 1 instead of the hospital here, that's a good one, because I don't need the hospital for now. Let's get rid of that block here. And then we can have the first financial center.
Warning. Hostile majority shares.
I need to check that. Sokov is trying to purchase one of my islands again. And then we can squeeze it in here. Actually, we do have quite a few buildings then in check. That's good for this one here. And then we would have to need another one here. And I guess, yeah, just like that, or up here.
Inefficient trading route. No goods available.
They really don't have a huge area here of influence for the big building that we have there. So I need to be careful there of where I want to place it. And yeah, in this case here, I will probably place it up here, because we don't need to upgrade all of those buildings here, you know, just a few of them. So we can have this here as our financial districts and financial center, that are blue buildings. That's something I like anyway. Also some reds here. Right, so more of them. I think it's going down all the way there. Very good. So this center here, we could also make a bit more practical as a financial district. So yeah, those guys here. Very good. And in this case here, I don't need those productions here anymore anyway. Those are the building module factories. And they're a bit too close to my center anyway. I wouldn't like that. Let's also get rid of that windmill there. And in this case here, just let's have another street then. Going over here like so. Why are they unhappy now?
Get out of here.
Community. There we have community. There we have community. Just where they are. Now that's strange. Oh, I see. There is no street connection here. Right, now it's working. And now we can have a few more of them here. Right, so that we also kind of like complete this center here, and then we can just then have also more of those upgraded buildings here, and also here, those guys. Right, and then we have also fulfilled those here, so we can now upgrade these buildings here, all of them here around the monument, and also here later then if we need to. Right, let's have a look at them. Everything is filled, so we can now lower the taxes for the tycoon engineers. That will then enable the upgrading process. And I just want to check once again. Everything is looking good. Also the gourmet food, the luxury meal is going up here. And oh boy, they upgraded automatically. I hate it, but there it is. Tycoon executives. That is the highest tier for the tycoons. And with that, of course, we have also enabled now the jewelry, so some new tax they want, some new demands they have, and we can now finally work towards the corporate headquarters foundation. For that, we will need 600 tycoon executives, and that is something that we can easily achieve, so that shouldn't be the biggest problem here. Now, something else that I want to do, especially here in Cyberpunk, since especially with the monument, we are going to have lots of energy demand. And in this case, I want to focus on the nuclear power plant that I promised you last week, or last episode. Now here we have the uranium mine and the fuel element factory. We do need to produce or build both of them. And I think Neutron is quite a nice spot for that, because we have lots of mining sites available here. The only thing that I won't need is building modules and tools. Lots of that. And lucky for us, Eden does provide. So let's load tools and building modules, as many as possible for Neutron. And in Cyberpunk we have one more free ship, and we're going to take... Do we need some more steel and concrete? I don't think so. I think that's fine the way we have it, right? So we do need the fuel rods that we produce with that. This one here. And then we can finally build the nuclear power plant, this one here, this beast. And this beast here then produces 750 energy. That's enough for our monument here, which is already taking like 120 energy at its foundation form. You know, they increase, of course, over time as well. So we do need that building for our monument. Some more engineers want to upgrade. And I think in this case, yeah, we can do that. And there they are.
Registering decline in overall population health.
Some huge and tall buildings. Also, they connect again here with bridges. I especially like that. And tycoon executives. They don't look so happy anymore in comparison to the engineers. Even, yeah, well, they're in the yellow area here anyway.
The Economic Journal is doing a piece about the immigration policy. It's good when new workers move into the city.
It's just looking pretty cool there overall. Now, we do need to gather a few of them. We already have almost 300, so almost half of it. So the only thing we really need is a bit more concrete then, and stuff like that. Of course, since I moved the production here, I think for the tools especially, we do now have an iron surplus. Or iron ore, but it seems like we don't. Oh no, because I have them over here anyway. That's fine. There we have it for the steel, right? So that's fine. We don't need that here. And what I can have here is a few more reds. And then blues down here, so they merge in that area. Looking fine, very good. And the venture trade ship here, everything actually that we have. I think Trenchcoat is in the area. Does he sell? No, he doesn't sell concrete or something like that. He sells the high-tech weapons though that we could use for high power warships. And now here in Neutron, we finally have the building materials for the uranium mine. And in this case, I think 2 should be sufficient for now. So we are going to have 1 here. And oh no, no raw materials available. Nope, uranium is not on that island here. Oh, but uranium is on cyberpunk. So we could actually produce it here right away. Yeah, and we do have some free mining sites there. I think at least 2 that I need.
Attention. Population leaving the city.
That's a bit difficult then. So where is the uranium? There it is in Helios. Do we have enough? Oh, we also used all the mining sites in Helios, right? In Eden we would have it, but no, I'm not doing that in Eden. Okay, A.R.R.C. And in Leicester we do have mining sites, very good. So let's do that in Leicester actually. Let's get those things over there. And for the uranium mine, let's just have a look there. I do need steel, concrete, tools and building modules. And then I take those 2 ships up here to A.R.R.C.
Clear. Risk of epidemic under control.
Very good. How's it looking down here? Oh, we are missing a bit of concrete there. So that's the thing, because it's now stuck there. But I'm pretty sure that I got enough concrete over there previously or initially. So I don't know. Let's get like 20 tons over there to Megatron. And we also have a little epidemic here. Nothing I would change there now. Okay, finally in A.R.R.C. we do have all the required materials that we need for our uranium production. So we're going to have 2 depots here, and we also will need a bit of energy. So a few of those wind parks there once again. And then we can now go for the uranium mine. I think 2 times is a good number. And then we have the fuel element factory, and in this case also 2 times that building. And from what I understand, we only really need 1 resource, and that is uranium. Very good. So now we produce those fuel rods, and oh, and we can also start the next phase of the monument. So here we have the 2nd stage that is finished now, and we are now working on the 3rd stage. It only needs tools and wood. That is the only thing. And what I can see is, yes, that we finally have more neural implants in here again on Megatron, because we're producing it now. We're producing more sponges with that. Now, the fuel rods are being produced. Rainbow. I think we can use Rainbow for that. Let's use Rainbow on that trade route then for the fuel rods that we can have. And in Cyberpunk, what we can have here, besides all those upgrades here, is with enough building modules, the nuclear power plant. So in this case, we just need to wait a bit for the building modules. There is our ship Rainbow, and let's have the... Was it Rainbow 2? Rainbow 2. And Rainbow 2 is now on the trade route for the fuel rods from A.R.R.C. That is up here to cyberpunk. Righto. Where are they? There they are. Oops, nope. I want to load it here, of course. Let's just load it 2 times. We will certainly not need more of that. And then I'll let Rainbow 2. There it is. Now that ship is on its way. Very, very good. And we do now have also enough building modules for our nuclear power plant, so I think it's time to build it, right? Now the nuclear power plant, I think there was something like random catastrophes in this game and the nuclear power plant might explode at some point. I have no idea if that is really true, but just in case, we want to have it far away from my main city so we don't really affect anything, and I think we can just have it, yeah, over here, you know. So there is the station for the nuclear power plant in all its glory, and that will produce us 750 energy as long as we have those fuel rods, and there's the building for that. Massive, huge, also consumes lots of building materials, and yeah, we could have it here if we want to. Shall we? There it is.
Not making any friends doing that.
Okay, Leon doesn't like that, so we lose minus 50 influence with him, but well, that's Leo for you. I don't care about him that much. Absolutely beautiful building there, I love it. There are some people up there talking, and in this case here, now that we have it, we just need to wait for the fuel power rods, and then we can start producing the energy here, which is very important for our monument. And while we wait for that, let's also upgrade a few more of those buildings here, the big ones. Right, there we have them. And how many more do we need? Oh, 200 more. I think in this case we might actually go for them right now. Oh, now we don't have the resources anymore, but we are at 572, so we really only need 28 more tycoon executives.
If what the Ministry of Truth is saying is true, there'll soon be an increase in the hourly wage. Everyone would work for that.
You'll be getting some talk already.
Yeah, yes, he wants the 15,000 there again, but I tell you what, Hector is going down soon. No problem so far, no problem until then. I need one more. There it is. We have upgraded now the last Tycoon Executive, and that means we have finally also unlocked the Corporate Headquarters Foundation. That's this building here, as you can see also. That would be the last monument then, and we can also start producing it soon. It also fits in here nicely into the middle. That's good to see.
Production breakdown.
Right, and now all we need is lots of building resources, and then we can actually start with that. Also, of course, we need to wait for the nuclear power plant, and there it is, already producing energy for us. Very good. So energy is going up. The only thing that I can see right now is that we might go for some additional weather control stations. So we also could have that here at the power plant, and then also one here. So we increase our eco balance there once again. Beautiful. Also here, let's have a look at the goods. We produce enough luxury meal and champagne for those guys now. As you can see, it's still climbing up there, and we have everything else. And now all we need to do is wait for those monuments here to finish, and we can use this wait then in the meantime and finally have a look at Hector, because he is getting annoying. Stay tuned.